Alright, Arson fans, welcome to Victory Point Cinema. Today we're going to be reviewing and playing the game Isle of Skye. Now, Isle of Skye is from one of the hot designers of the moment, Alexander Pfister, along with Andreas Pelikan. And this is a game that just recently won the 2016 Kennerspiel des Jahres. It's a very popular game, and you know, we've had a few plays of this before, but tonight we're going to actually sit down and try a two-player game, and we're going to give you our thoughts and a review of the game at the end. And it's going to be interesting because this is a tile-laying game, but it actually mixes in an auction element, and it's a little bit different. Some people call it a Carcassonne killer, and we're going to see, and we'll let you know what we think. But Isle of Skye. All right, Matt, we've played through 2 rounds. We're getting ready to start round 3. Initial thoughts so far?
Oh man, thoroughly enjoying it. Point-wise, moving a little slow, a little lower points than. I mean, there's a lot of games like this, as anyone knows played. But I mean, sometimes diving in to the lower points, you can be like, yeah, well, you know. But everything going well. We're tied up at 2 points, 2 victory points each right now.
And you know, it's worth noting. I'm just going to ask you. We've played this at a higher player count. Do you think that we're playing with a 2-player count, there's not as many tiles to choose from, and that might be why the victory points are moving a little bit slower?
Well, yeah, absolutely. That definitely makes a difference. It's not as much to go, you know, to pick and choose from to gain points, but enjoying moving very quickly for a 2-player.
So we're going to go ahead and start this round and just kind of talk you through what we're doing. In this game, the phases, the first thing we do is we actually get our income. So you start out, each person gets 5 for their castle. So we'll give a 5. You want a 5 token? Is that cool?
That'd be fun, I think.
And then you also have a road connected with whiskey, right?
That'll do.
So that's an extra for you. And I have a road connected with a whiskey barrel to my castle as well, so I get an extra. And beginning with this round, if one person is ahead of the other, you get 1 gold coin for each person ahead of you. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're tied, so neither of us can take advantage of that.
Nope.
And on this round, we're actually going to have a chance. As you saw in the video a moment ago, there's different scoring tiles that come out. These are random every game. And in this round, we're actually going to be taking advantage of 2 of the scoring tiles. So we're going to see what we can put together with that. The first step, we actually got the income. Second step is actually just going to be drawing some random tiles out of this bag, which is included in the game. Nice little bag.
Very nice little
canvas.
Burlap sack. 3 tie up. I got 4. I didn't look at it.
He's cheating, folks.
I'm not.
He's cheating. And I'm not looking in the bag. I know it looked like I looked down for a moment there, so I don't want to be the accuser and then do it. So now we just look at them and we actually place those tiles in front of it. I did get 4. I didn't look at what I put back. I did not.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. So now these little screens that come with the game, what you do, you actually place your 3 tiles in front of them. And this is where the game, I think, actually gets very interesting because you have to pick 1 tile that's going to be discarded from the auction. And then you put a price on the other 2 of what you want the other person to pay for them. But it can come back to bite you because if the other person doesn't, then you lose that money. You get the tile, but you're kind of setting your own price as well in case they don't buy it. And this round we're looking at. So sheep are going to be a hot commodity this round. So I have set mine, and if Matt has set his.
In a momento.
Okay.
Is there any change to make here?
Oh, yes, sir.
Because that's going to be needed. I traded in a 5.
Matt going to the first Scottish bank.
Okay.
We should have had kilts for this.
Yeah, we should have.
Yeah, I want a kilt. And are you ready for the grand reveal?
I'm ready. I know you can't really see your tiles what's happening, but nonetheless we're revealing to each other what do we set our prices at, and one will discard immediately. I chose this one.
And I chose this one. There. Out of here. And with that, Matt, you have the first player token.
Indeed.
So you get to buy first. I set a high price on my stuff because it's good quality real estate I'm selling here in the Isle of Skye.
I'll buy that sheep. Your first one there for 5, please.
Oh, okay. So he's buying some sheep, which is a thing because this round you get bonus points for sheep. Makes a lot of sense. And now I will look. I'm going to buy this lighthouse tile with a sheep on it as well for 5.
Okay.
And do you wish to buy my other tile?
Is that 3 on that one?
It is.
Sure. I wanted some change.
I'll give you 2 for 5. And that will be yours.
Thank you.
And see, this is interesting. Do I want to make him lose that money and take that towel? He's got, is it 4?
It is.
I'm going to let that towel go.
Okay.
So if a piece is not bought, that money goes back to the bank. And that towel, you have that towel though. It's yours.
Yeah, I was in the back.
Basically, you bought that.
Towel and the money goes back.
He bought it from himself, more or less.
Yes.
So that was the auction phase. Now we go into the placement phase. You place your towel. And I knew exactly where I was going with that. And it's really interesting. This is something to note. You can't really see it at the moment. You probably saw it. Some of you may have even, if you've played Carcassonne before but haven't played this, you may have thought that we had our tiles placed wrong because you may have saw some roads leading to nothing. That's the difference in this game between Carcassonne. Roads are the only thing that do not have to connect on tiles. Mountains, water, and fields have to connect, just like in Carcassonne. But the roads can just stop. There can be dead-end roads. So the roads do not have to connect. So he has placed his tiles, I've placed mine. We will now refer to the scoring chart. Alright, so we look over here, we're on round 1, which means tiles A and C are the bonus tiles. So I'll look at mine first. The first one is I get 3 victory points for every ship, every body of water that has a ship and a lighthouse. So I'll look here, and I do have 1 ship and lighthouse body of water. So I will get 3 victory points for that, because it does connect. 1, 2, 3. Put you back to there. And then I'll look at the other. I get 1 victory point for each tile with a sheep on it. And I look, I have 2 tiles with sheep. So I'll get 2 more victory points. So that's the end of my scoring for this round. Now we'll look at Matt's. And first of all, we'll look to see, do you have a tile that is with a body of water with a boat and a lighthouse adjacent? You do. So that's going to be 3 victory points for that. And then we'll look to see how many sheep you have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 of those. So you're going to get 4 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how scoring works. That's the end of the scoring for the round. And Matt is now in the lead at 9 victory points to my 7. Alright guys, we just finished the final round, which was the 6th round. So we're going to do our final scorings now. And I will look here. And this round it was B, C, and D. So it's these 3 scoring tiles, which is the 4 areas completed, and each 4 square block. 1 victory point for each sheep, or 1 victory point for each animal next to a farm. So I'll look at mine first. I have got 1, 2, 3 completed squares. So that is going to be 6 victory points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For sheep, I've got 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. And then I've got, for next to a farm, I've only got 1 farm, as you can see. So I would look, and I've got, with tiles next to it, 1, 2, 3, 4 victory points for that. 2, 3, 4. Now I will look at scrolls that I have. I get one victory point for each 2 sheep. So again, I'll count my sheep. 1, 2, 3. So you round down. So that's 1 victory point for that. And then on this scroll, I get 1 for every 2 ships. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we completed our final round scoring for the tiles. The only thing left to do now is the final scoring of our scrolls or our gold. So I'll look. I have 4 scrolls, none of which are in a completed area, so they're not worth the double points. So I'll just get what they're listed as. So I'll get 1 point for each 2 sheep. So 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 1 point because you would round down, of course. And then 1 point for each 2 ships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would mean 2 points. So 1, 2. And then I've got 1 for each lighthouse. I've got 1, 2, 3 lighthouses. So that's 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And then I've got 1 for every 2 barrels of whiskey. 1, 2, 3. So I would get 1 victory point for that. Then I would look at my gold. It's 5 for every 5 counts as 1. So 5, 10. So that's 4 victory points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's my final scoring. And then we'll do Matt's and we'll see how the game ends. Alright guys, we finished the final scoring, and as you can see, I actually won the game.
Wait a minute.
No. Okay guys.
Wait a minute.
Actually what happened was, with the final scoring, Matt did actually almost lap me on the victory point track. Great game, and we're going to give you our final thoughts on it here in just a moment. Alright guys, time for final thoughts on Isle of Skye from Mayday Games. I'm Mayfair. Alright guys, time for our final thoughts on Isle of Skye from Mayfair Games. We just finished it up. Matt trounced me. I gotta call a spade a spade. This guy's a winner. Anyhow, final thoughts on this game. The word on the street is this game, some people feel like it's a Carcassonne killer because it adds in the bidding element, and they say it's a more complex or a more gamerly version of Carcassonne. Matt, what do you think?
I mean, I guess I can see maybe saying that. For me, it's nice to have, in addition to Carcassonne, to add a little something to that. I don't think it's a Carcassonne killer by any means, at least not here at the Arson compound. Carcassonne a big favorite around here, but again, that's not knocking on Isle of Skye at all. I think it takes kind of that element, adds a little more to it, adds the auction depth, and not quite just tile placement, and some of the expansions add different things to Carcassonne, but I think it goes hand in hand with it. I think if you're a fan of Carcassonne and are looking for something a little different to change it up, then this is absolutely perfect for you.
Absolutely. I think we love tile laying games. That's something we love, and like he said, it's not going to kill Carcassonne for us by any means. It's just a game we love. But why can't you have your ice cream and your cake? And that's what I say here. This is a very fun game, and I honestly, there was some controversy. Some people thought other games maybe should have won the Kinderspiel des Jahres. I think it was deserving of the title because that's a game that they give to a more hobby. They call it the Hobby Award, which is like a little bit a step above a gateway game. I think that's exactly what this is. It's a step above a gateway game.
Is, absolutely.
And absolutely enjoyed every time we've played it. The one question I have for you before we give our final rating or final thoughts, do you feel that it plays better at a higher or a lower player count? Because that's something to take into account.
I've now played it at a 2-player game and at a 4-player game. I think it adds, as any will do, it's a little bit different for each. I enjoyed the 2-player game, but maybe it's more optimal with more players in this one just because of the bidding system and just having more opportunity to make different purchases and different choices. But again, didn't play bad at all at 2 players. Pretty quick with 2 players and quite fun.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I will say. It moved along at a nice clip. It was a very, very quick game. And yeah, I agree with you. I do think anytime you have an auction element in a game, I think the more people you have, probably the better. But no complaints about the 2-player.
No.
So, final judgment. Do we approve? Is this Arson Brother approved or is this Arson Brother disapproved?
Oh, AB approved all day. I'll play it again right now.
Arson Brother?
And still beat him.
Approved.